Today's episode of the Chasing Daylight podcast is sponsored by Chasing Aces Golf. Golf comes with pressures and expectations, and that includes what you wear. Chasing Aces hats, performance polos, and t-shirts keep you looking sharp from the clubhouse to the tee box. Visit ChasingAcesGolf.com. You can find them on Instagram as well at Chasing Aces Golf. Even the best are chasing aces. Man, did we have a fun-ass weekend or what?
We sure did.
It was amazing.
Did. Oh, I thought I was going to drop it again.
Unbelievable time in SoCal, San Diego County, California, where we played some golf at Torrey Pines. So because this was a really just fun-ass trip, and it was a couple days, and we played two different courses, that's what this episode is going to be. We're just going to kick back and talk Torrey because it was a blast. It was an absolute blast.
Great time.
The South course absolutely kicked everybody's ass. I think everybody played pretty much to their levels on the North course.
On a major course, South course.
Yeah, on a very major South course. But let's start. Where do you want to start? What do you want to start with?
I say we knock out some news, and then we just knock out the PGA Tour, and then we take our break, and then we come back and talk Torrey.
Okay, so we can do that. The big news today is the deadline for the players to submit their release forms to play in the LIV tournaments. Mm-hmm. I didn't catch much of it. I've had so much going on today. I didn't get an opportunity to kick back and read any news. So if you guys know anything about what happened, please enlighten.
Yeah, so I read the article. Basically, it said that the headline on Golf Digest was PGA Tour draws hard line with rival tour won't grant players release to compete elsewhere. So basically what they said is if you are going to any type of formal form that you got to fill out to play a different tournament during the week of a PGA Tour, it's going to get denied. If you go play, you're going to face suspension or a membership revocation or whatever they said. It's come down to where it's like it's real serious. The LIV Tour is going to happen. Both sides believe that they have the legal ability to do what they're doing, and the article said it's going to come down to court at some point. And we all know the debacle we don't know the debacle. I mean, we didn't talk about it, but Sergio, the 3-minute rule.
Was my next thing.
Yeah. So, and the PGA Tour released that they said that they made an error with that. So, I don't know. It's about to get heated. This is. It's very interesting. A lot of stuff going down.
There's some drama.
It's big time, and hopefully this might clear up some tee times in the future. That's what I'm hoping for.
What a bunch of pretentious assholes. Fuck golf.
Yeah.
I'm going back to pickleball and Thursday night game league at I don't know.
I'll read a little excerpt because I have
Okay.
I have it up. I'm just picking one out here. Like I didn't
Fire
prepare
away.
this, but it says there was some belief the tour would grant exemptions for the Centurion event, particularly after releases were granted for the Saudi Invitational or International in February. But while that event was funded by the same Saudi government investment fund that is behind LIV, the PGA Tour saw it as a one-off put on by the Asian Tour. The PGA Tour is essentially treating LIV's offering as a tour in the making. So I think that's where they're scared is. I think it was 2023. They're going to try and start the actual LIV Tour. So they don't want the competition, obviously. The announcement comes hours after LIV and its CEO and Commissioner Greg Norman announced an additional $2 billion in funding for a 10-event series in 2023 and a league beginning in 2024. $2 billion over 10 events is insane.
That's just
It's bananas.
My God. Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, what is that?
So
That's $1 billion per 5 events, so $200 million per event additional funding.
well, is it just prize money funding, or is it to set up the courses and staff and all that shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
Appearance fees. I'm sure there's got to be some appearance fees in there somewhere just to get these guys over there. I mean, that's how they were doing it with the PGA Tour events, when the PGA guys went over to play the
Ooh, this is an update from 8:30 p.m.
Oh,
It says,
fresh.
Live Golf released the following statement from CEO Greg Norman. Sadly, the PGA Tour seems intent on denying professional golfers their right to play golf, unless it's exclusively in a PGA Tour tournament. This is particularly disappointing in light of the tour's nonprofit status, where its mission is purportedly to promote the common interest of professional tournament golfers. Instead, the tour is intent on perpetuating its illegal monopoly on what should be a free and open market. The tour's action is anti-golfer, anti-fan, and anti-competitive. But no matter what obstacles the PGA Tour puts in our way, we will not be stopped. We will continue to give players options that promote the great game of golf globally. That's great. I mean, it's getting heated.
Wow.
It's getting real heated.
I mean, if you don't want to play in the PGA Tour and you want to go play in this, go.
Yeah. But you can't come.
If
You
you-
can't come back. Is what the
You can't come
tour's
back.
saying.
You've got, I mean,
Let me ask you
choices.
this.
Everybody's got them.
Do you think? Okay, so Greg Norman is basically spearheading this. If he didn't collapse at the Masters, do you think he'd be doing this? I mean, it's not a tour event, but
I think somewhere along the line, the PGA Tour somehow jaded him.
rubbed Norman the wrong way somehow.
Something happened that, who knows what it was. I mean, how many tour events are held at Norman courses? Is he like every time he wants to try and hold an event there, they're saying no, and so he's just like, well,
Maybe
I don't know. Something had to happen for him to get this
he is
spiteful.
Yeah, he's pretty anti-tour from how it sounds right now.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe with his history of what happened and his experience on the tour, and he just hasn't seen any changes. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I got no idea what he's thinking.
There's so many like closet things that could be going on or that happened
yeah, absolutely.
and that we don't know about, but it's getting boiling hot.
So did you guys both see what happened with Sergio?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of? Okay. So he hits a ball into the penalty area. It's on the other side of a creek. He goes into the penalty area, unbeknownst to the official that was on the other side of the course. They started the clock when he entered the penalty area, which is what they're supposed to do. They weren't aware that there was a creek there, that he had to find a way across the creek and then get over to this area where his ball was. So had the official been closer, he wouldn't have started the clock. That's why the PGA Tour apologized and saying the official was in the wrong. But my whole beef was Sergio didn't have to be a little bitch about it and make those verbal statements that he did. If you're not happy, don't play in the tournaments. If you don't like the rules, you don't like the officials, you fear you're being jaded, don't play in the tournaments. Go play on the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have, nobody is forcing you unless you're obligated by your contract for your apparel or whoever your sponsors are.
She probably
that you
is.
have to play. You have to play in so many events. But dude, just shut up and play the game. And
Yeah, but I'll play devil's advocate here for a minute because he was
course.
caught on a hot mic and he didn't. I mean, the same situation with JT, a year or two ago. He was caught on a hot mic saying something he shouldn't have on the course. You have to think that you're being recorded all the time, especially
there
on a live
was
sports event.
nobody. There was nobody playing in this tournament.
Yeah, he was big.
He knew he had cameras and mics on him.
He's
I'm
a major
sorry.
champion. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he knew that there was, and that's why he said it.
probably. I mean,
I just thought it was a punk ass move. You know, if you're not happy, don't play. That's
yeah.
if you're gonna. I mean, you signed up, you agreed to play, and you agree to play by the rules and the officials of the PGA Tour. If you're not happy with them and you're leaving, great, but don't piss on it while you're there.
Yeah. I mean, it's offered him a ton of notoriety and money.
Oh, my God.
Like, he wouldn't be where he is today without the PGA Tour.
Right. What do you think, Jeremy?
I agree. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, obviously he's not happy before that. That was just a way for him to vent his thoughts that he's probably considering. So I thought it was kind of a classless move saying it. I mean, whether you're hot mic'd or not the thing to say. I mean, you could have said a million other things like, argue about the drop, not drop that reference. I don't know. That kind of, I've always been sort of a Sergio apologist because I've liked him, and he's unfortunately like a Patrick Reed. You just never know what you're going to get at any moment.
True.
And this one, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
Yeah, rubbed the wrong way a little bit, for sure.
Totally. And it was so unnecessary. Just, take your ruling, go talk to the tour afterwards, see what they say. I mean, they apologize. Fortunately, you don't give them the stroke back, but,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is, because, there's players that have said that they are going. Mm-hmm. We know that. But who do you think is the biggest name that's going to go?
I mean, I don't know.
Does Phil?
I don't
think
think
Phil going.
That's a really big name. I mean, he's older and late in his career, but I mean, I think.
Well, that's what I was chatting with Chris Price about this, one of our fan listeners of the show, and I was like, it's like the pre-champions tour.
Yeah,
it's the guys that they're good, but they haven't been good for a while, but they're not quite old enough to be on the Champions Tour, but they can still play.
I don't think that's really it. I think I mentioned this while we were playing Torrey, and I think it's the guys that are good and they're still competitive, but they can't win at every course on tour, so they have to pick and choose their spots, and they're later in their career. I mean, not at the end of their career, but they're later, and I mean, you can't fault them for wanting to go get their money while they can because they don't think that they can win on tour that often like they used to.
Yeah. Money is the big, huge factor behind this whole thing, and
it's the hugest factor.
It's why all this exists. It's why anybody's talking about it, is because the payouts are massive.
And here's the thing: if I was placed in that same spot, I don't 100% think that I can say with conviction I wouldn't go.
It's tough.
I mean,
it's tough
because it's like I said,
it's life-changing.
These guys are later in their career. They can win on maybe 5 stops on tour, maybe.
Oh, and you've had that PGA Tour wife for 8 years now that is like, honey,
I got to get those
cupboard's
Louis
getting
bags.
A little thin.
Yeah. We need some more Grey Poupon in the fucking fridge. We're running out of Grey Poupon.
Kids ain't gonna get any bigger by themselves.
Run out of that Grey Poupon. Got to get some more. Go get that Gouda, babe.
All right, so it'll be interesting. I mean, it seems like there's going to be something new every week coming up with this.
Yes.
They said this was the first deadline. The major deadline is next week, to when all hell apparently is going to break loose. So
one thing that is obvious is the Live Tour is not going to stop, and number 2, PGA Tour is heavily against it. So it's going to be a battle, and it's going to continue at least for a year or 2.
Yeah,
and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Let's get on. So I'm going to do a quick rundown here. Congrats to Max Homa at 8 under. He won the Wells Fargo Championship. Kurt Kitayama had another solid showing with a tied for 15th. Steve Flesh at 11 under won the Mitsubishi Electric Classic. And Brent Grant at 16 under won the Simmons Bank Open for the Brent Snedeker Foundation. Taylor Montgomery, good showing as well. T13. Harry did miss the cut, but they're still in Tennessee this week, so maybe he can show up for that one. Our lock results and standings. I had the Seamus Powers who missed the cut, so I got no points for that. Joe had Joel Damon, who started
He
fantastic.
started on fire, man.
And then, I looked up Friday afternoon. I'm like, holy crap, what happened?
Very bad Friday.
51st. You got 7 points for that. And Jeremy had Corey Connors, who finished 21st. Let's see, what did you...
Jeremy's killing the top fives and top tens.
Yeah, he really is. He got 40 points for that, 10 points for top 25. So, Joe, you still have a commanding lead at 229.66. Jeremy is 693 points behind you, and I am 967. There was no changes in the FedEx Cup because nobody really played in this event. And there was only one change in the OWGR. Patrick Cantley dropped to 5th. Cameron Smith took his spot. Got Scheffler, Rahm, and Morikawa top 3. So, Jeremy, real quick, let's go over what's happening this week on tour.
All right. So we have the AT&T Byron Nelson at TPC Craig Ranch. 7,500 yards, par 72, 500-point event. I believe K.H. Lee won this last year.
He did.
TV times, as usual, Thursday and Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 on Golf Channel. Saturday, Sunday, 10 to noon, Golf Channel. And Saturday, Sunday, CBS coverage is noon to 3. That's all Pacific time. So, yes.
Yeah, the Thursday, Friday time change. That's 1 to 4 p.m. is kind of a weird because I guess it's in Texas, so it can be a little bit later because it's normally in the morning. But
yep. DP World Tour is at the Soudal Open 2022 at Rinkven International Golf Club in Antwerp, Belgium, the diamond capital of the world. Par 71, really? 7,000 yards. That there was a Utah jewelry store in Utah. They always advertise they get their diamonds from Antwerp, Belgium.
Oh,
so apparently, according to Utah. LPGA Tour's back. Cognizant Founders Cup at Upper Montclair Country Club in Clifton, New Jersey. And then,
the course looks incredible.
Yeah, another East Coast gem that we've never heard of. Korn Ferry Tour is the Visit Knoxville Open at Holston Hills Country Club, Knoxville, Tennessee. And then finally, the PGA Tour Champions Regions Tradition at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, so that's what's happening this week on the tour. Yeah, let's do what Joe said. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we'll get into some Torrey talk. Ask any golfer, and they'll tell you their hole-in-one story, whether it went in or not. Chasing Aces is a brand that was launched with the idea that everybody is welcome on the course. They believe in building a community through their shared love of the game. Golf comes with pressures and expectations, and that includes what you wear. Chasing Aces hats, performance polos, and t-shirts keep you looking sharp from the clubhouse to the tee box. So, take the pressure off. We're all here to have a good time. Walking the fairways and Chasing Aces means you see every hole as a golden opportunity. Please visit ChasingAcesGolf.com, and you can find them on Instagram as well at Chasing Aces Golf. Even the best are Chasing Aces.
We're Nish and Chris, two very amateur golfers on a quest to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland, after Chris set this challenge on a drunken Saturday night in my kitchen. Join us on our frequently humorous journey of a lifetime as we grapple with the logistical and financial challenge of playing some of the best courses in the world, as well as grappling with our games, because let's face it, it's never just about playing. Sometimes the score matters too. Listen to the Top 110 Golf Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Bob West, your Vegas golf real estate agent. Over the course of a 4-hour round, I can help you with some tips to lower your scores. I can also help you with your goals when it comes to buying or selling a home anywhere in Las Vegas or Henderson. Reach out to me on Instagram at TheBobWest or just send me a text at 605-881-5481. Give me a call. Let's play around.
Golfers, swing into Las Vegas Golf Superstore for the new Ping I-525 irons and Glide 4.0 wedges. The Ping I-525 irons have a forged steel face, allowing for dynamic distance and a greater feel. The next generation Glide 4.0 specialty wedges are engineered for high spin performance with a lower launch. Get a free custom fitting today. Las Vegas Golf Superstore, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Okay, who's ready to talk some Torrey Pines Municipal Golf Club course, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah.
Municipal Golf Club course.
Okay, so Jeremy, you had been on the property before. You tried to walk on with your dad a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, this was your first time on the property.
Yep.
What were your thoughts as you pulled into as you walked down the 18th fairway, because you were staying at a Hilton right down the street? What was your feelings about the place?
My first thought was expensive.
Yeah.
But no. So Katie, my wife, came out with us. We stayed at the Hilton right there next to the lodge, which is right on the 18th fairway. They have a little walkway back there to the clubhouse, but walking from the hotel to the clubhouse, I was like, wow, there is not much to this at all. Like, obviously TV coverage, grandstands, patrons or fans, whatever you want to call them, add a lot to the course. And
what did you think the first time you saw the little pond on 18?
It really took me a second to realize that was that.
Right? It looks so much bigger on TV, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I said this multiple times while we were playing. I said, the golf course doesn't seem long or hard, but it feels big. Like, it feels really big and grand. But I was like, wow, that's where Tiger made the putt in 2008. That's where John Rahm made the putt to win the U.S. Open recently. And I was like, that's it? Like, it kind of blew me away how mundane it looked, in person. But walking up to the clubhouse, that whole area by the clubhouse the clubhouse is lackluster, boring.
It's very basic.
Very muni, but the putting greens and the lodge right there and the trees, it's the Rolex clock, it's sick. Like, it was really dope.
Yeah, Bob said, we were talking about this on the drive back home. He was like, with the amount of money that place is bringing in, it could be absolutely off the charts ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
everything is still basic muni golf.
Definitely.
And they have a piss ton of money coming in there on a daily basis that you would think that it would show some signs of that, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They bring in a ton of dough. I mean, the money they charge for tee times for out of towners, and the pro shop is very large, but it seems very outdated and very old school with their selection of goods that they offer. But every foursome, you're getting $2,000 minimum a day.
Oh, it's insane.
Minimum.
It's insane. I mean, I think they have a good selection. It may not be a modern selection.
Yeah. It's a large selection for sure.
And there's quite a few things that are very affordable. I mean, you look at some of the price tags and you're like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting. Like, they had a Puma camo hat that had the Torrey Pines logo on it, and it was $36. And I'm like, this is $45-$50 anywhere in Vegas.
Yeah.
With the logo on it. So, I mean, they don't mark it up through the roof like they could. Like, wait till you go to Bandon.
Yeah.
You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, the little snack shack as you make the turn on the North Course. I mean, that could be so much better. We talked about
definitely
how the outside patio that overlooks the 10th tee on north and one on south, that could be so much more engaging and, a place to hang out afterwards, to chill with your boys and, have a beer and watch people tee off. And there's so many little things that they're missing, I think, that if they would take advantage of that money, but who knows what.
Well, here's the thing: they don't need to, because people are going to come no matter what.
But they could.
They could,
and they could make it even better for the people. Because they have their clientele, they have their card members, they have their locals that they could care less if it's hyped up and looks better. But you also have this massive golf population that can't wait to get there and play, and are paying way over what they should be paying.
Yeah.
And they're not getting any of that value other than the fact that you could say that you've played it.
Yeah, like here's the thing is that place is iconic. That's why they get to charge what they charge, because it is iconic. They could take advantage. It's probably a good thing that they don't take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine if that pro shop was a little bit different. Imagine if they had a snack shack or a area where you could hang out. I mean, we'd probably be paying a little bit more for that in the long run as golfers. Imagine if they had a better range. Imagine, it would hit us in the end, I'm sure. But it's...
You're right.
It's an experience, and it's iconic. I mean, we checked it off, and I mean that's what matters.
Yeah. Jeremy, what were your thoughts?
So the biggest thing for me was I did not realize how badass the North Course was. It's so fun. Specifically 14 through 17, four amazing holes.
So good.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, that number 17 is such a great par 5. And of course, you got 15. Yeah, it is. The short par 3 down the hill, which is crazy elevation. The TV does not do that justice. That doesn't do that course justice, really. Some of those holes.
True.
When you see them in person, it's like, wow, this is way different than it looks on TV. But I was blown away by the
when
North
did they
Course.
flip the 9s on North?
When they did the redesign.
Which was,
oh God, I don't know. We got somebody that can look that up and find out for us.
Yeah, I have to get on that.
I mean,
I want to say it was 12, 13.
Okay, so I mean, we're still somewhat fresh, but not too new.
Yeah.
The front 9, the now front 9 was lackluster to me on the North.
Very basic. Very, very muni.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't for those holes on the ocean side.
But like you said, Jeremy, the back is, and it's a good. I think that's great that they flipped it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I think it's.
Absolutely.
I think it was a great choice by them.
Yep, for sure. I think it was 2016. Does that sound right?
Okay, yeah, that could be.
Seems like it was before that, but.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I don't remember. I just know it was when I went in, was it 18? 17, I think. 17 or 18, that they were talking about it a lot, so.
Yeah, I think I was there just after they changed it.
Could you, you imagine the 10th hole is just fantastic on the North Course. You got that ocean backdrop, and I can see that being a fantastic first hole.
Yeah.
But then it's over.
It's
over.
Yeah.
And
I think they made the right choice for sure.
Very right choice. Okay, we have to talk about this. How many times did you hear the word "for"?
Dude, we were sitting there. I think it was like that long par 3 into the wind on the front on North.
Uh-huh.
We were sitting there watching you guys, and there was like 2 groups on one of the other, like probably number 7 on. Dude, they were yelling for the guy almost hits that group. They get up to hit, almost hit the group that tried to hit, almost hit them. It was like insane, man. And then you turn around and someone's like balls rolling across the cart path at the tee box.
It was unbelievable. And when you're in the middle of that front nine, at like hole 5 and 6, and there's holes on each side of you coming and going away, and you're in the middle, and someone yells 4, nobody has any idea where to. It's just
it's just duck and cover.
It's just duck and cover.
Yep.
And we heard it so much. And then two of the funniest things I've ever seen. Trey about lost his mind. He was done. We were getting ready on the south course. We were ready to tee up on 9, and there was 2 guys playing 18, and this guy hits a ball on 18 and yells 4 right, and we're like 4 right. What? Who are you? And Trey's like, that's the pool, bro.
That was a bad one.
That was a bad one. I mean, I don't know who he was trying to. I don't know. It was hilarious. But then the worst one, probably one of the worst, and
you wouldn't even think this was in play.
It's hard to even imagine. So you got to picture yourself, the 8th green, the par 3, on the south course. So we're standing there. Bob is Trey was playing up because he just hit the ball short. Joe has got a downhill putt, so he's behind the hole. His back is facing the 18 fairway, and we hear 4, and Joe almost got taken out.
Well, so here's we hear someone yell 4, and we're thinking we're good because we're not in play for any hole, except if someone really lost one super wild on 7.
Maybe,
like super wild,
like a lefty shanked it.
or like a super hardcore hook for a righty on an approach that's probably a 9 iron.
Yeah, or someone coming up 14 or 15 just hits it long. There was, but no way did we think it was coming from the 18th.
Yeah,
tee box.
It was literally. I mean, I wouldn't say quite 90, but it was. I mean. It was 80 degrees.
Wow.
And
like
Trey,
straight left. Like
I thought Trey was going to walk over to the cart and just
I thought we were going to get in a fight. I literally thought we were going to I thought we were going to get into a fight.
Tensions were high cuz those guys were, I mean, they were drunk, they were laughing, having a good time. I mean, a little bit too obnoxious. And I think the guy whiffed on his first one. And so the ball landed in the collection area left of the green.
Right. It was
right.
Wow.
And so Bob's getting ready to putt, and I'm like, Bob, just hang on a second. They're coming over here. I don't know if he's going to play this.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Unbelievable. So, and then another thing I want to talk about is I'm finding ourselves saying this more and more often. The 10 million new golfers that are in the game. Apparently 9,999,000 of them do not know how to rake a fucking bunker.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about how much you guys saw this, Jeremy, but every fucking bunker I was in, footprints and like pitch marks and tracks and like right next to a rake too. And I couldn't believe how much of that. I mean, we had at least 5 balls where we had to, let it roll naturally because it was in a foot depression on the side of the hill.
Yeah. I was in 17 bunkers on the south course.
The same. I was in a lot.
I was in footprints. I was in pits. I was in rake marks.
Right?
It was crazy.
What the hell's going on? And so this is another thing where the money that Torrey's making and the amount of money that the out-of-towners and even Californians are paying that aren't San Diego County, can you at least have somebody out there monitoring what's going on in the golf course? There was no marshals.
Well, here's the thing is a lot of these golfers started playing during COVID. And during COVID, we did not have rakes. So they are used to not having rakes. I'm not saying it is right, but I would assume that's where the problem lies. Is A lot of golfers joined up during COVID, and they're not used to raking bunkers or don't know to rake bunkers.
Okay. Public service announcement.
Watch a YouTube video.
Rake the bunker when
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
Make it as close to perfect conditions for the next person. It's not that hard. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that
like
was-
like Bob was saying too, the etiquette. You know, you got guys on the green that are getting ready to putt, and you're yelling for a ball that is in the parking lot of the Hilton.
Yeah.
You know, just okay. You don't need to yell for on that one. It's gone, buddy. You know, and,
you just listen to the crash and let it go.
and hope it wasn't your.
No
car.
one in the hotel is going to be like, "Oh, 4 right, that's me. Let me,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
me. I need to
let me
duck.
take cover."
Yeah. Yeah.
It was unbelievable, but it's Muni golf.
It's
It is.
like you said before we went, you're going to realize it's Muni golf. It is a municipal course, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There was some funny stuff too that happened.
Yeah. I will say noticeably different between North and South was, I mean, it was a shocker playing number 1 on South after playing North Sunday morning was the first green. Like it was way faster.
So fast. They were so pure though. They rolled
They
so
were
good.
they were pure. They were firmer than the North, faster than the
much,
North.
much. Did you find the same thing, Jeremy?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, hey, you know, back to the bunkers real quick. Not to linger on this, but they were arguably some of the best bunkers I've ever played out of.
Yeah,
They were pure and perfect sand. I don't think I had any, because we all were in the sand. Everybody was.
yeah,
I mean, they were just perfect. And Bob said, you know, I can see why it's a major venue. The bunkers are amazing. The green complexes are phenomenal. And it, you know, if you're in the fairway and, you know, you can score there, you can play well there. But if you get a little off, and I mean that rough is thick, and it just does not allow you to get the club on the ball.
and the rough it wasn't even as thick as it is for U.S. Open.
Oh, it wasn't lush at all. It was just nasty.
Yeah, I think it's Kikuya out there, which I don't think I've ever played Kikuya, but it's sticky.
It's extremely sticky. Like especially
I
those
mean-
little shots around the green when you're chipping.
Yeah,
My hell, I've never had so many chips like fly out like 10 feet left of where I was hitting it to because my club
Yeah.
shut.
yeah, and there's just no spin coming out of there.
Yeah, there was
It's such a weird. It's a weird place because you're like it's Torrey Pines that's got this history and this amazing like you're at Torrey Pines, but then when you're playing it, you're like this is a municipal golf course.
Exactly.
The conditions weren't. I mean, the course was in great shape. It was no complaints. It's not super green. The rough is just a little nasty in some places. The bunkers, of course, the raking issues. But my gosh, what a place!
Yeah,
I can't
it
wait to go
was-
back there.
I know.
Right.
I really want to play it again. The fairways are so skinny out there.
they're so small. They're so tight.
You have to be in the fairway. You have to be, or else
Yeah,
you're,
and I
or else you're
wasn't.
dead for the most part.
I wasn't at all, except for maybe a handful of holes.
Yeah.
So what did you guys? Or let's do the North Course. So what's your favorite? What was your favorite? I don't know if I want to call it a stretch or your favorite hole or your favorite moment on the North Course.
For me, it was the approach in a 10.
So good.
I actually liked 9. I know that's everyone kind of was saying it's kind of a boring hole, but I really liked the layout of 9, especially the hitting into the green with the bunker in front. And I mean, those holes on the back that I mentioned before are just amazing. But 9 was kind of a hole that I played really well, and it just fit my eye.
So how did that fit your with that tree? How did it fit your eye with the tree?
I aimed at it and drew it left of it. And then hit the best 3-iron I've ever hit in my life. And hit the lip of the bunker, actually. Almost got up onto the green. It would have been perfect. Hit like a foot from the top of the lip and fell back in. What so cool.
Number 9 on North was a moment for me. I mean, it's like you said, it's a boring hole. There's not much to it, but it was the hole where the first hole, and maybe one of the only holes. I mean, maybe there was another 2. I was like, this feels like PGA Tour to me. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the range on the left or what.
Are so good. And Joe, you said it more than once.
Yeah.
The bunker placement is brilliant.
The bunkers are placed so good.
Especially on the South Course. It's just, I mean, if you have a swing fault, you'll find a bunker.
Yeah.
If you have a miss hit, you'll find a bunker. It is just, you have to be on your game with every shot. You don't get to take a break. Like at some courses, you get to take a break.
Right.
You get a little breather. Straightaway par 5, downhill par 4, you get to take a break. But even the short holes there, like 2 on the South Course, very short hole, but Trey and Bob were bunker left. You were rough right. I was short. I was in the fairway short, but my approach came up short. It's just I was on the green. I was back right in the green. But it's very challenging, and at every shot, and even the par 3, it looks wide open, and then that green contour just takes it, sends it away from where the flag was. It's just it's really unique the way it's all set up.
Yeah, I mean, we've played. I mean, Shriners at TPC Summerlin is a PGA Tour event, and we know that they do the shot link and understand where players hit it, and they take out bunkers that aren't needed or whatever, but. That Torrey Pines they put the bunkers in the spots where they need to be. And that was very, I know I said it plenty of times, but that was surprising to me how good of bunker placements they are, and how
brilliant design,
and how like kind of almost boring that the bunkers are, but they're perfect, and they're in the exact spots they need to be.
And they're super penalizing. Like if you hit it, I hit it in so many fairway bunkers. It's insane. Yeah. And I couldn't go for the green on any of them because I was either up against the lips or I had a super awkward stance.
Joe had an amazing bunker shot on 4.
Yeah.
After the par 3, it was luckily, well, I mean, it would have gone down to the bottom anyways had that footprint not been there. But what'd you hit, a 7-iron?
I hit a 7 from like 170 or something like that.
Yeah, beautiful shot. And I tried to do the same thing with the 6, and it didn't work.
What hole surprised you guys on the South that maybe you thought it would be different or harder or easier?
Wow.
I'll go first.
It surprised me because I didn't play it good. What was yours?
Mine is, I think is 13, the par 5.
Yes.
We didn't walk back there. We were too lazy and tired. So I know we should have. I saw all of you guys go back and hit.
And you regret it now, right?
I do regret it. I'm probably going to go down there next weekend.
I told you before I left the tee box.
I know. We were just like, I don't want to walk back there.
I hit one for back there and I cleared it. So
I'm curious, what was your aim point from there? Because there was a kind of a bunker. Was there a bunker on the left side of the fairway that you have to carry?
If you want to get to the fairway, you got to carry it. You can be right and short and be in the fairway, but
yeah.
Because I didn't actually see where you guys ended up from there.
Back?
Yeah, from the very back.
Yeah, I mean it's a draw hole. You probably just draw it off the right side bunkers, and you're in the middle of the fairway.
Okay.
You need to go back. You need to go back and watch some of the footage of the 08 with Tiger playing that in the playoff, and the shot that he hit there was just remarkable. Yeah,
that hole, I don't know why I thought it from the tee we played, it was long, but I hit a drive, pretty good drive, hit a 5-iron short just at the bottom of the hill, and then hit one up and made a birdie. But that hole didn't feel that big to me. Like it's not super. It didn't feel super long. I think I could have got a 3-wood up there to the green, but from that back tee, it's 100 yards longer. So
yeah, that was a drastic difference.
Yeah,
Tour tee.
hitting a 3-wood into that, even from where you were, it's so penalizing missing the green because the bunkers are crazy deep. You've got the huge false front that I took advantage of twice. And then you got the back bunkers. And if you have an upfront pin from those back bunkers, forget it.
That's where actually Dan, he was down at the bottom in that the very lowest bunker. He had an amazing bunker shot up to that front pin, but I was that was another thing with that hole was I remember Tiger hitting that long putt from the back of the green. I think it was like a Saturday round at the US Open. Nailed the putt for an eagle. That green is not that big. The camera made that thing look like it was an 80-foot putt. It was probably like 40 feet.
Yeah. And shout out Bob making eagle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. What did he
from the back tee?
Well, he bombed his tee. His tee shot. We were talking about. I'm like, he is way down there.
We told him, just tell everybody you eagled it from the back box. We'll cover you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Because him and Trey I think was in the bunker and Bob was just short of the bunker when they hit back there. I had no business going back there because I would have had to hit a driver to the front box.
Yeah.
It is. Ooh.
So yeah, that's the hole I liked.
11, the par 3, really good par 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's so many good ones.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I mean, there was a lot of holes that kind of surprised me. Like the par 3, number 3, it played harder than I thought it would. Number 6, the par 5, which they play as a 4. I was kind of surprised that I had an opportunity to get there in 2.
Yeah, we thought Bob made an albatross on that.
Yeah, yeah. we thought he holed it. 18, I think, was a big surprise to me how basic and boring it is.
Yeah.
For so many moments happening there, and it was just like, wow, that's it. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Those what's crazy to me, and I was thinking about this whole round, was like, dude, I'm hitting it in every single fucking fairway bunker on this course, and there's still 2 tee boxes behind me, and those guys are hitting it from there into the same bunkers.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting
Right?
good tee shots, and I mean, I'm hitting it like 300 maybe. They're hitting it like 350 into those bunkers.
It's amazing. Well, Joe, you said it a couple times that you didn't feel a big sea level difference.
No.
Did you, Jeremy?
I didn't really, but the wind was like on the south course. The wind it had me confused the whole time because
I think the wind was definitely different on the south course than it was on
Yeah.
the north course. I don't know how, but it felt different to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just like misguided or what. Like that par 3, 11, where we all went right. Like I just don't know how that happened.
It was hilarious. First person gets up there, hits it far right. Next person far right. I was last, and I'm aiming at the tree left of it, and it went and then just faded right. I mean, it was a strong wind. You got to hit a hard, almost a hook into that hole to get it to stay there.
Yeah, that was surprising to me.
Yeah. The other par 3 I thought was awesome was 16.
Yes.
That's a great hole. I mean, I hit a really good shot into it, but that hole looks so awesome. I mean, it was tough because the wind was just straight in our face, but that's a great hole. Awesome green.
I went a little bit of different route of playing that one. I said I'm going to take my hybrid and just hit it really thin and low, let it creep into the front bunker, give myself a terrible angle into the pin, hit my wedge long, end up in the back rough to a really short pin, and then chip that very aggressively, way too hard, but let it bounce off the flag and drop. So that was my adventure on that whole little chip in par.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, do you think if you played it again that you would play better? Like none of us really played all that great on the South course, even though it didn't. To me, it didn't feel hard. It just felt like you needed to know it And
Yeah, I mean, it had been a while since I played it. I don't I remember all the holes. You know, I have that stupid memory with my brain where I can remember all the shots. But I didn't have my game. I didn't play well on the South Course at all. My driver was an absolute disaster, and that just kind of took out any chance of me playing well. I think if my driver was okay, I would have scored a lot better than I did, because I was in so much trouble off the tee where I just could not do anything. And even my like safe out shots were terrible, because I shouldn't have been where I was. But I think I know how to play that course. I got to figure out my driver.
To me, right, I felt like I drove it really well. I feel like I putted really well. It was just like knowing where to miss. I mean, and there's probably so many bad misses out there. Like, you know, and I was only in one of them per hole. But is this the only like major venue that you guys have played?
Yeah, I played a handful of PGA spots, but this is the only major venue. Yeah, that
Jeremy?
I've been at.
Yeah, this is the only one.
Yeah.
I think the South Course is the type of place that if it will expose the weakness in your game, whether it's hitting it off the tee, whether it's putting is an easy one because the greens are tough. Bunkers, for me, that was me. I need to work on my bunkers because it was a total shit show. But I think, I mean, each one of us...
We're not used to hitting out of those.
No. Each one of us, I mean, Dan played pretty well, but he had some putting problems. You know, I was the sand. A couple of the other guys were, you know, couldn't hit a fairway, and they're, you know, it's each one of us had a struggle, and it was just over exaggerated on that course.
Yeah, it amplifies your mistakes big time.
Yeah.
The biggest surprise to me out there was how crazy the greens are. Because even being there, they don't look crazy. Watching on TV, they don't look crazy. Like that John Rahm putt, I don't know how it does that there, but it does. And it's like the one putt that Bob had on that par 3, 8. Like he had to hit it 120 degrees out to the right and just let it come straight down. And there is,
but he didn't know that until after he hit it originally.
Right, but that's what me and Bob were talking about. Is like you do not see that happening at all, and the only way to tell that could possibly happen is through your feet.
Yeah,
feeling it through your feet. And the green complexes out there are way better than I thought they were or going to be, and they do a lot more than you think. They do a lot more than you see. That was the biggest surprise to me out there.
What was your biggest surprise, Jeremy?
Just how muni it was. That was kind of surprising, which I love a muni. So it was, I kept having to, tell myself, this is a muni golf course. You're going to hear you're going to have balls flying in your fairway and people driving all over the place when you're getting ready to hit. It was just that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, you think you're going to this prestigious course, and it is, but it's also a muni, which makes it fun. I think if they were to change a bunch of stuff, it wouldn't have the same charm and make it nicer.
I can totally see that. I don't know. There's a couple things that I think that they could do to enhance. One, to have some cups on the putting green. Yeah, that might be nice.
That was a bummer.
And there just isn't really a spot to hang out afterwards.
Yeah.
There just isn't. And you can see everybody just packs up and leaves. And that's cool, but I mean, if they just extend that patio out over the cart area and throw some tables and chairs out there and say, hey, you got to bring your own beer even. Just, some place where everybody could just hang out and chill for a little while, I think would be an amazing thing to have there.
That patio at the lodge was amazing, though. Where we had breakfast. It's like the best spot ever.
One of the best Belgian waffles I've ever had in my life. Holy Mary. So damn good.
That was very good.
Yeah, Joe had to come sneak in.
Can I bum a waffle?
Yeah, he was bumming waffle bites.
Yeah, I had to. I mean, the food was really good there. It was obviously pricey, but It was a great spot, and sitting there, it felt like really, really cool.
Yeah, we've all kind of trying to get back to normal day life after being gone for a few days. We haven't even begun to post photos or videos or anything in that sense of the word. So, pay attention to Joe's Hitting Greens, my Instagram, the Breakfast Ball, and on TikTok. Bob West, of course, Trey Sanders. We're the pretty much the majority of the posters in the group. So that's where you'll see a lot of the photos and videos. I did a couple live TikToks. I had fun out on the patio Sunday morning, engaging with a bunch of people. It's a unique place, and I'm glad that I got to do it with all you guys, because that just made it that much more fun.
Yeah, I think more of those trips need to happen. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need to the short distance ones. I'd love to do a TPC Scottsdale trip, knock those couple out there.
Rams Hill,
even Pebble. Pebble would be just an amazing, and of course Bandon. Always got to talk about Bandon. So we were just saying how much fun it was with everybody as a group going down there, and it was a blast, and that we got to plan some more trips like this in the future.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone for, I think Katie had a good time, everyone being cool with her hanging out a little bit.
Of course.
Yep.
That was my first golf trip for the most part, so I had a blast. Sunday night was an experience, but yeah, that was a ton of fun. We had a bunch of fun on Sunday night, even though our flights got delayed, and it was a really good time.
Your clubs made it safe there and back.
Yeah, so I shout out Trey and for the extra weight in the car for lugging my clubs back. I owe you some gas money for sure. But yeah, it was awesome. I had a blast.
Yeah, I
didn't know Dan was that white under his clothing,
or the independent tattoo,
or the independent tattoo.
But hey, before we actually got to San Diego, had some breaking news on my golf story. I finally got the Eagle Monkey off my back.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got my my scorecard right here. We'll be holding on to this one. Oak Quarry is where we played, and on the fourth hole, it was 520. We played it very downwind, so my drive got way down the hill. Hit a 6-iron to about 8 feet and made the putt for my first ever eagle, and then 5 holes later, of course, 550-yard par 5, the 10th hole, hit a great drive. I had 250 out. It was a little downhill. Hit the 5-wood, just smashed it right on line. Came up a little short, and paging Dr. Chipsky Inner, nailed that one for my second eagle of the day. So 49 years to get my first, 5 holes to get my second.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Yeah, so that and yeah, finally. And then with my chip in on 16, get to add a couple more dashes to the wedge. So I'm looking forward to that. So
did anyone get those on video?
Just the
putt. Just the putt.
Just the putt. Okay.
Yeah. The chip in, I mean, I was hoping it went in. I was planning for it to go in. Did I think it was going to go in? Wasn't really sure. Was chipping okay that day, but yeah, it just jumped up, grabbed, and then released and rolled right to the cup.
Speaking of chips, I feel like I almost hold so many chips out at Torrey Pines, but it just runs out there.
Dude, I burned so many edges. Just the greens rolled so good.
Those greens reminded me like Paiute. Like you got to just be accurate.
Got to know where it's gonna go. So
you can lose a putt real easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else you want to do? Say on the Torrey front?
I I mean, there's
Go play.
Yeah, just go out there. It's expensive, but
Bite the bullet, and
it's a good one to check off. I mean, it was a blast. Glad I got to share it with you two and everyone else that came, and it was awesome. Very cool experience.
Right on. So in some quick Vegas talk, we have our VGN Mountain Mayhem out at Angel Park this Saturday. Had a little bit of controversy and just sad news coming down the pipe that they were going to be punching their greens. That happened to me on Thursday when I found that out. I went kind of nuts and panicked and talked with them, and they said they're sorry and we told you, and I said no you didn't, and a whole bunch of back and forth, and so we redid some money and changed everything all around to find out, oh no, I'm sorry, they're not punching them until weeks later. So everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. So that was a little bit of drama in my life. I was shaking as I was talking to the person. I was so mad because that's just not right. But thankfully, the course will be in great shape. I've heard from several people that the course is playing really well right now. So looking forward to that. Got 30. We had 40. Then Dan got hurt. Daniel, not Dan. Well, they're both in the VGN. So McEachern got hurt.
Independent.
Yeah.
And shout out to Colby and Trey holding it down for us at 5-iron tonight.
Yeah, big
Had to
force
miss
for
it.
them. Joe had some stuff going on, and I had a band recital I had to go to, so they stepped up and are taking care of that for us tonight. And then, let's see, Mike Tice, he actually had to withdraw because he tested positive for COVID.
Oh, man.
So, and then Betterman sent me a message saying he tested positive for COVID and he wasn't going to be able to make it. And I
Betterman.
said, well, that's okay because you never signed up. So, wasn't planning on you being there anyways.
Betterman.
So
Give
apparently
Betterman.
some more.
I love him.
Oh, he's hilarious.
He's awesome.
Yep.
Apparently there's some COVID going around, so be careful out there, everybody. All right, Joe, let's get into the odds for this week's Byron Nelson and get the hell out of Dodge because I have to edit all this crap and put it out before I go to bed tonight.
Crap. This is not crap. This is gold.
I mean, this sensational web gemness.
Yeah, Texas.
The Byron.
Are you guys taking Scotty?
Well,
right.
let's see who gets to pick first. Jeremy gets to pick
Yeah.
first.
Byron Nelson, Scotty Scheffler is your favorite, no doubt, 9-1, along with JT. Jordan Spieth, Sam Burns, Will Zalatoris, 18-1. DJ Xander, 22-1. Hideki, 25-1. Wakan Naman, Brooks Koepka, 30-1. Taylor Gooch, Tommy Fleetwood, 40-1. Jason Kokrak, 45-1, along with Adam Scott and Maverick McNeely. Aaron Wise, Jason Day, 50-1. Man, he was
played
on
really
it.
well.
He did, but he fucked up. Jonathan Vegas, Adam Hadwin, Seamus Power, Cameron Champ, 50-1. Lanto Griffin, 70-1. Tom Hoagie, 90-1. Matthew Wolf, 100-1, who is just playing random golf at Muni's and not caring if he wins for some reason.
Yeah, that was very odd.
Dylan Fratelli, 125-1. Carlos Ortiz, 150-1. Wyndham Clark, 175-1. Pat Perez, 200-1. And at the bottom, 300-1, Dylan Wu, Trey Molinax, and Hayden Buckley.
All right, Jeremy. You're up, sir. You get to pick this week.
I know. I'm contemplating.
Uh-oh. Is it Jordan Spieth or Scotty Scheffler? Jordan Spieth or Scotty Scheffler?
It's one of those.
Jordan Spieth, Scotty Scheffler.
Sam Burns.
Ooh.
18-1.
Jeremy Burns.
I like the Burns pick.
18-1?
Yep.
Yep. All right, Joe, it's your turn.
I'm going to go Taylor Gooch at 40-1. Love to see a back-to-back of friends on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see. All right, so that leaves me to make a pick, and I got burned last week. A little upset about that. I really thought Seamus was going to play better. Damn it. I really like that Burns pick, Jeremy.
Yeah, I was feeling that myself.
You know what? Let's go. Yeah, I'm going to do DJ. Dustin Johnson. 22-1.
22-1.
Yay. All right. So that's the odds for. Oh, you know what? Let's see. They have the Korn Ferry event out there too on the old William Hill Sportsbook.
They do. That they do.
Eric Barnes, 28-1 is the favorite. The field is the favorite. Wow.
Interesting.
Taylor Montgomery, 30-1. Is Mr. Hall, paging Mr. Hall, Mr. Harry Hall.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him so far.
Yeah, there he is. 100-1. Ooh, that's worth putting a buck on.
Yep, I got it. $5 on it.
Come on, Harry. Come on.
Harry.
Come on. All right. I think that does it for this week, boys. Got anything else you want to chat about? Want to talk about my horrific driving stats for the weekend?
Sure.
God, I sent so many videos to Neil, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Why is this ball going right? What is going on? It is a in to out path with a squared club face. What is going on? And I don't know. It's
funny. We were playing, and Matt, I'm like, you ever thought about teeing it just a little bit lower? And he's like, no, I do tee low. I do tee low. And I noticed, I didn't, I wasn't telling him to tee it lower on a tee or anything like that. I noticed he did tee it lower on one of the tees, and he striped it.
The very next hole. He said
Beautiful
that.
drive.
Because at 5-iron, I know I tee it low because you guys tee it so goddamn high. Because I'm always adjusting the tee down really low from after you guys hit. So I know I tee it. I may not tee it low, but I tee it lower than you guys do. So when he said that, I'm like, I do kind of tee it low. So then I'm like, fuck it, let's see what happens. And I just freaking striped it. And I look over him, and he's just grinning ear to fucking ear.
Shitty grin on his face.
Shit-eating grin, man.
Staring him down, yeah. I mean, there's a time and place to tee it low, and there's a time and place to tee it high.
Yeah.
So you got to play with that. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was. But I hit some. I don't know. I on the range, I felt great. I hit it well in Riverside. But man, come Saturday afternoon and all day Sunday, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
I got to end my Torrey thing on one thing after you're done.
Ooh. Oh, go ahead.
This is on 18 on South as we have the crowd watching us finish. Mm-hmm. I missed the putt, and I went to tap my putt in, and Dan said under his breath, "Pick it up, Jay. I've seen you 3-putt too many times today." Thanks, man. He wasn't wrong.
18.
Yeah.
I was saying it the entire time. I said 18 is the one I want to birdie. I want to birdie 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had a chance.
I had a chance.
a really good chance.
I birdied 17 now, which was a net eagle, which was nice. But
oh yeah, speaking of, all you motherfuckers owe me money.
I know.
All you owe me and Bob money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of had a really good weekend because I won the skins match that we had in Riverside, and then Bob and I won our little 2-man best ball against everybody. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congrats.
I'll send
And
that
Joe still
over
owes
as
me cart money too.
I'll send that over as a business payment.
Yes,
I just rode with you. I would have walked.
Oh my goodness! Listen to this guy.
And speaking of cart fees in California, like, why do they charge for a cart everywhere in California? Like everywhere.
I don't know. They didn't at Oak Quarry.
That's a Torrey tax.
Yeah. We were talking about that and everything. How much is it to dip my towel in the water?
Yeah. Dude, it was pricey, but it was worth it.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
Okay,
There's
so
one
go
last
ahead.
thing.
Oh,
I know there's a lot of Torrey stuff I'm going to forget to mention, but I do want to shout out a new podcast that's out there.
yeah, absolutely.
They gave us a shout out on their first episode, Super Twilight. It's Fade and Fairway and the Golf Homie. Really cool dudes, and they're on their second episode. They come out on Tuesday mornings, so you can go get your Super Twilight fix. The day before,
I listened to their first
Jason
one. It
did
was
it.
really good.
Yeah, it was really good. This week's was, getting to know Tyler, who is Fade and Fairway, and then next week we'll be getting to know the Golf Homie. But chatted with him a little bit last week, and he's gonna probably be up there for the solstice, and we're gonna
Nice.
most likely gonna at least get a round in with him. So I'm stoked for that. But
Right on. That'll be a
super
blast.
cool dudes, and we're like intertwined with the PNW. It seems like, and kind of at least. I'm feeling the vibe up there, so go check them out. They just started. It's a good listen, and
Knowledgeable golf people.
they are golf nerds and golf obsessed, just like us three. And yeah, check them out.
Good plug. And we're not going to charge them for that one like they want to charge us.
Yeah,
So.
we'll call it even now. Yeah,
There we go.
let's call it even.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got an idea. We were talking about giveaways to give away some swag to some people, some shit. So what I'm thinking about doing is when we go places like that, like we just went to Torrey, what we'll do is we'll pick something up in the pro shop and we'll give that away to somebody who has left a review. So we'll start the clock now.
Yeah.
It's May 11th when this is being aired. Anybody that leaves a review between now and the time Joe and I go to Bandon,
Ooh.
we will grab something in the pro shop, and who knows, maybe we'll do a little Instagram live on the CDP site and let somebody pick what the winner will get. So,
Which also, speaking of Bandon, we're like only 5 weeks out, which is awesome.
I know.
I'm very stoked for that. Me and Matt talked about it briefly, but I want to do a preparing for Bandon on site, Bandon after like little series where I can ask Matt, how many socks do I need to bring? How many pairs of shoes should I bring? And just like
a couple.
preparing for Bandon kind of situation, which I think would be really cool and
Yeah, absolutely.
more selfishly helpful for me. But yeah, I think that would be cool. I think that's a really good idea.
So, Jeremy, when are you bouncing to North Carolina?
I am going May 24th through 27th.
27th. Okay, so you'll be back. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm gone the 30th and the 6th. So we need to schedule a time to get together to get our Vegas reviews done so that can go out. And then, Joe, you and I can do one of those episodes for the Bandon stuff one of those other weeks that I'm gone. So
Yeah.
that way we got some, don't miss any of our Wednesday releases. So and keep the ball rolling. Because, this is episode 160. We're getting up there.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting up
Still
there.
waiting on that Joe Rogan money, but it's a labor
We
of love.
we don't need the controversy.
Yeah, that's true.
More money, more problems.
That's
Hey,
true.
it would have been, how great would it have been for us?
More
all
money,
of us
more
to
tea
come out
times.
and go,
True.
God, Torrey Pines is trash.
Yeah.
that would have got some listens.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money. It's junk. No, it's a gem. It's a gem. Go play it. All right, everybody. So stay tuned for that stuff coming up. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, make sure you get out and chase some daylight.
Later.